Hello, good morning and welcome to Daily CBT. I'm Deirdre, and this morning we're looking at how we are stronger than we think. So the first step to looking at this is, how do we think? How do you think? So when it comes to our limiting beliefs or our core beliefs, how we think is in three main areas. So how we think about ourselves. So when we look particularly at limiting beliefs in our thinking, it's I am, and then others are, or the world is. So these limiting beliefs that we may have may hold us back. So it's sort of starting from where we're at in terms of being stronger than we think. And we're looking at reframing our thinking to help us. So firstly, if your thinking is unhelpful, so if you have the limiting belief or the rule that you are not good enough at something, so I am really bad at singing, for example, and that may be that may be something that you've believed, that may be something that has been with you, but is it 100% true 100% of the time? And if it is, how much does it matter? So when we look at this from the perspective of what's holding us back, we then can begin to challenge our negative thinking. So for example, if something happens, it's not necessarily what happens that influences our emotions. What influences our emotions are based on what we think, what our interpretations of this scenario is. So if, for example, we use an event and the same event happens to three people, and that event is that they are getting the news that they are made redundant. The first person who is told that they're being made redundant may think, great, I hate this job, and they would be pleased. The second person might think, oh my goodness, I'm never going to work again, and they would be really anxious. And the third person might think, I'm going to have some redundancy money, so therefore I'll be able to travel, and they might be excited. So three different responses, three different emotions, three different thoughts, but the same event. So it's not necessarily the events in our lives that challenge us, it's our interpretation or the meaning that we give or the thought process that we have. And often those thought processes are in patterns, and we've spoken about cognitive distortions and how we might have the all or nothing thinking or the catastrophizing, and in every scenario we think a certain way. So the way to become stronger at challenging our thinking is to look at the evidence for and against our unhelpful thinking. Once we do that, we can ask ourselves questions like, is what I'm thinking a fact, or is it my opinion? Is it 100% true 100% of the time? So what we think doesn't necessarily mean it's true. That's what I've got for you today in terms of reframing thoughts, making sure that we recognise that there is another way to think, and therefore if that other way of thinking is making us stronger, it helps our emotions and it helps us to be able to get on with achieving our goals and moving towards a better way of thinking. I hope that's helpful. Thank you for listening to me today. Have a great day. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.